Boy, this is going to be an interesting one. I'm going to go through the pros and cons of being a professional piercer. Coming up next on Pros and Cons by a Piercer, Season 2, Episode number 65. For those who are new to the channel, welcome to the Body Piercing and Tattooing channel. Hope you're finding the videos helpful and useful, but you may not know who I am. My name is DaVo. I'm a professional body piercer and have been since 1994. I own and operate the Axiom Body Piercing Studio, located right here in Des Moines, Iowa, inside Skin Kitchen Tattoo. Now we're going to talk about my version of what the pros and cons are of a career that I've had since 1994. Basically, I'm coming on my 30-year anniversary in May of next year. It's been a wonderful thing. I greatly enjoy what I do for a living, but it has its drawbacks. And I think people that are getting into the industry, they only generally see kind of this rock star lifestyle that they supposedly think it is, and it isn't. I don't ride around in limousines and drink big bottles of whiskeys. Nah, sorry. So let's start it off with the pros. Number one, creativity. I don't know about you, but I like to do things in my life that are creative. I, in fact, out of high school, was in a trade school to learn how to be a computer engineer. Yes, that would have made me a lot of money probably starting in the 1980s. But the reality is I couldn't really satisfy my more creative side of my life. Now, a lot of people think that piercings are the same thing over and over again, just with maybe a slightly different jewelry or a different placement. The reality is, if you really get good at what you're doing, you begin to look at people's anatomy and figure out exactly where it's going to fit best and what jewelry is going to look right there. That's when you're at your peak, and it can be a lot of fun and very creatively driven. Number two, you get to pierce and meet a lot of people from a lot of different backgrounds, and you get to interact with them. I often use the example, I have pierced street kids, probably criminals, addicts, etc., all the way up to the cream of the crop of society, politicians, doctors, lawyers, etc., and everyone between. I have pierced people from just about every profession you could possibly imagine, and of every ethnic background in every, at least a majority of them, what I'm going to encounter in the state of Iowa, because I'm sure there's one ethnic group I haven't probably encountered. But anyway, a lot of different people. It goes for an interesting day of work, especially if you like interacting with people and you like to learn new things. It's a very entertaining thing from the standpoint of, just getting to know somebody, seeing a different point of view in some cases, and enjoying the process of piercing. Like I always say, piercing's supposed to be fun. Number three, the freedom of self-employment. You have a lot of control over your own destiny when you're self-employed. In most cases, it really varies from studio to studio, but in most cases, you're at least a subcontractor, which means you are subcontracted to do that work. You are working independent of that studio, though there might be some policies that you may need to follow. You also gives you the ability to, if you want to expand into other things and handle the social media side, or be creative with cameras, or do videos for YouTube, or build a website. That is a possibility when you're self-employed, to do things yourself. I've always had the philosophy that until it gets to a point where it takes too much of my time, where I'm losing money, I will always do it myself. And in the process, I've learned how to do a lot of things that interest me over the years. Number four, this is kind of the tail end of what I just talked about. I should have probably looked ahead, or maybe I did look ahead in my mind. Allows you the possibility of pursuing other related different interests. Like, for example, during my piercing career, I have done tons of promotion. That worked into live music at times. I was interacting with a lot of people in live music here in Des Moines. Some people know my connection to that Slipknot band. A lot of those things probably wouldn't have happened if I wasn't piercing. Also, film, being able to interact with all of you on YouTube, this is not something I probably would have done if I would have been in a different profession. I don't know if I would have had the freedom to do it. And number 5, earning a living wage doing something you enjoy. I love piercing. I enjoy doing it. I love sharing it. I love educating people on body piercing and tattooing, etc., as is obvious to anyone who ever watches the channel. To be able to do that every day and also pay my rent, feed myself, and support myself is a huge win in my experience. Yes, there might be ups and downs in income, as there is with all self-employment. But for the most part, I've always been able to support myself doing piercing. Now let's move on to the negative stuff, the cons. Number 1, fluctuating income, the thing I was just talking about. There are times in my career, and granted, I've been in the business for quite a long time. I've been through a couple different recessions. I've gone through a bust or a big boom and a bust a couple of different times. The industry shifting or growing, competition growing, etc. So there have been a number of times throughout my career where my money went low and I struggled a bit. While other times it's been really well, or done really well, I'd say a majority of the time. It makes it kind of difficult to plan ahead budgets and et cetera in your personal life. It'll drive, if you have a partner or somebody you live with, it will drive them nuts because one day you have a ton of money and the next day you don't. It can be kind of a stressful situation from time to time where maybe you're late on a bill and nobody's coming in, and you get the picture. Number 2, you are a minor public figure. People look at me like, really, that's kind of ego-driven there, DaVo. The reality is yes, you are going to be known by a lot of people as a piercer. And when they interact with you, you are representing not only yourself, but in most cases your skills, the persona that you have at business, your business, the studio, the people you work with, everything is up for grabs. So you have to be very cautious about how you interact with people, even outside of the business or on social media, and making sure that you're not making comments or et cetera, or saying things that easily offend people. I have always had a policy that I'm not going to say anything on any social media platform that I wouldn't scream in a crowded room. There's certain things you need to stay away from, and if you're one of those people that can't stay away from it, you're going to absolutely not do well in this business because people listen. And increasingly more so, it becomes an issue because people have figured out the internet is forever, and they can always find stuff from your past. So keep that in mind. One of the cons is that you cannot just be yourself sometimes. Number 3, usually there's not paid holidays or vacation or sick days. You either work or you don't make money. That's the bottom line. If you're somebody that has problems with that and likes to take months and months off and all this other stuff, this is not going to be a profession that you're going to enjoy. Number 4, there's not a boss here, so you have to be self-motivated. You have to go, hey, I need to make some videos today, or hey, I need to clean some tools, or hey, I need to process this jewelry and get it out, or hey, I need to redo that stock organization. You always have something to do, and staying motivated and on track with that can be very difficult when you're constantly being interrupted by phone calls, clients, etc. throughout the day. You have to be one of those, with this one, you just have to be self-focused, and a lot of times it can be very stressful. Number 5, the last one, demanding and unpleasant clients. I always refer, there's this kind of rule to pretty much everything in life, the 1%. 99% of the people you come in contact with and you interact with and our clients are fantastic. But the 1% is always going to be the ones you remember. And you're going to deal with piercing, you deal with the general public, and you get everything from people that are in a good mood to people that are having a crappy mood. You have people that just automatically assume you're trying to rip them off. You have to learn how to adapt and work with everyone. And that can be very difficult and very stressful. Well, that's it. Are you a professional piercer? Do you have a pro or con to add to this list? Do it in the comments. Till next time, here's hoping all your piercings heal with ease and without a single issue. And if you're in the Des Moines, Iowa area, I hope to see you for your body piercing needs in the future. Have a good day, everybody. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.